Would it be fair to say that was a game you grew into and in the second half could have won?
Yeah, I think I demanded a physical game. I think we'd got away from what I expect, especially without the ball. I think personally I thought we were emptying key areas of the pitch too early, and I just asked for intensity, and I asked for a real desire to hunt, and I thought we got it. But what we didn't get, once we'd hunted, is the way that we want to play. So the mind's got to adjust. It has, and you need constant reminders. But what I would say is, we got, after I think about 35, 40 minutes, we got intelligent energy back again. And I thought there were some really good phases of play. I thought just before half time we got the ball down, stabilised, started getting out to the full backs. And then I think the players started to remember that they can play with intensity a good game of football. And we want the players to be able to handle the ball, but I think we got away from the intensity. And it was good to see the intensity back and the physical element of the game, which I think's been missing.
You had chances in the second half, obviously. I mean, on another day, the Lewis shot would have gone in, wouldn't it? Perhaps a month ago, that would have bounced in the back of the net, rather than the crossbar, and then obviously, Danny Lloyd's shot, and then perhaps got in each other's way a little bit with the rebound. Yeah,
but that's football for you. You don't always get what you want. You get what you work for over a period of games. That's football. Me as a player, me as a manager, and we wanted simple messages today, but the biggest message was to work hard for what it is you want. It's not just going to happen, we can't wait. And I think because we've been in the playoffs or automatic places, I think there's an expectation that it's just going to happen. But it doesn't just happen. And you have to earn it. And I think today we have earned, from my perspective, a thumbs up because of the performance. And I'm talking about the courage, the physical input, and then the football. You can't, and I don't want, 400 passes in your own half of the pitch. So possession can play tricks with you. It's what you do in the final third, or it's what you do in both boxes. And we tried to get to the final third earlier, quicker. We tried to pick up second balls, and then we forgot to play football.
I know you're easing James Vaughan back in, but do you sort of feel with his presence that means that the midfield pushes forward that little bit more? You're more likely to get the second balls because they know the way that James plays up in front.
I think we were doing it in the first half. I think we really got into some second phase turnover regains, and we just give them the ball back. We needed to relax, but I wanted the intensity. I wasn't, there's too much background noise. Well, they're not that. No, I got the intensity I wanted, and eventually they'll relax and remember how to play. If they just want to go out and play football, go and play walking men's football, go and play five-a-side for your local club team. But we're playing professional football, and I want the intensity, so I got the intensity first, and then the brain engaged with, we're football players. So let's play football as well at that intensity. And I think we played the way that I want to do, in and out of possession against a good side. And I think, for me, it gives me encouragement going into Tuesday night.
And encouragement for the players as well. I think, they should be taking those positives individually in the winning battles today, which perhaps they haven't been just recently.
Correct, 100%. And, there was a suggestion that, we make more changes, we make earlier changes because you're not winning a football match. I think if we had lost that football match today, we could have fallen off the edge of a cliff. We were searching for a performance, and we got the performance, we didn't get the result. I was disappointed with Tuesday's performance, and the malaise that set in a little bit with, well, we only have to turn up. And that's not being disrespectful to anyone. I got a performance today, a physical performance that you need to have with courage, in and out of possession, to go and achieve things. And I think we got that today, but we didn't get the result. And we came out of the game without losing. If we'd lost and I'd asked for intensity and we got the physical performance, we could have fallen off the edge of a cliff. So I'm encouraged. If we can repeat the desire, the determination, and the 4 games, I'm very optimistic about.
Yeah, you get closer to the identity of your team, and you're more likely to turn those draws into victories.
Yes.
Yeah. In terms of the starting lineup today, obviously a little bit like a false nine with Kieran Morris in the centre there and whatever. Was that the way you
He's
saw
done
it?
it for me before. I think in the early stages of the game, I think the midfield wasn't set quite right before, behind him. You know, we didn't want him to be multiple pressing, and we wanted him to play as a false nine, if you like. We wanted to invade the space in behind, down the channels. But I think that, you know, the setup became better for us behind Kieran, which allowed us to counter-attack, use Kieran as a false nine. And I thought Kieran was excellent today, but I thought, right across the board, I thought the performance levels, physically, were outstanding. And I thought Manny Month probably had his best game for me as a manager.
Are you still looking at the table with 4 games to go?
I don't look at the table.
No.
You know, emotionally, I can't get involved with what people say you should be doing. Where we are in the table, where opponents are in the table, you know, who's won, who's drawn, who's lost. I don't need to know. I need to concentrate on preparing the players, making sure they select the side, and sticking to the game plan, and the game plan's intensity.
You had David Nugent on the pitch with James at the end there, sort of thing. Again, that's a slightly an option you've got perhaps now with James going back in the side.
It is. And we want to win games, but we don't want to throw games away. You know, there's 90 minutes to change the course of a football match. And players will have moments in games. For 20 minutes, you would suggest that 1 or 2 of our players weren't quite at it, but you don't change it for the sake of changing it. I'm very patient. I'm a very patient person, but I'm losing a little bit of patience at times. You know, and you know, I've got to remain focused on our bubble and what it is we're trying to achieve.
You fair to say perhaps you're a little bit more buoyant today. You sort of feel as if you're a bit more buoyant than perhaps you were after Tuesday's game.
Tuesday, yes. It looked like the pressure of the challenges had got too much. The expectation. And, you know, if you look at it with, you know, a clear mind, we'd lost our intensity. And we'd lost our intensity, more importantly, without the ball. And we got that back today.
Thank you.
Do you think players have felt sorry for themselves when results have been going the way they have? Excluding today, I mean previous matches.
I don't know, to be honest. I mean, you know, if you look at the league table, we've lost 12 games. I think there's only one team who've lost less. You know, and it does worry me, football. It really does. So we've lost 12 games. You know, we've got 4 games to play. Feeling sorry for yourself, you're asking the wrong person. You know, you should ask the players if you want to ask anyone. I don't feel sorry for myself, I never have done.
I'll ask them next.
Yeah.
A good chance for Danny Lloyd late in the game or late-ish in the game, and he kind of, in the end, it looked like himself and Woolery sort of got in each other's way. Is that just unlucky, or is there a bit of a tension to just try and make that breakthrough and get that goal, which might
I don't know. It could be a little bit of both. I think, you know, what I was really happy about today is they're both trying to score. They're both like working at really hard. There's a real intensity to what they're doing. They're closing the opponents down. You know, the swarming. You know, and I want the players to swarm on the pitch, the opponents. And I thought they did that well. And as a result of swarming, you know, we got a good opportunity. Did they get in each other's way? They might have done. You know, but I'm reasonably happy with today's performance. It's a draw. We've not been defeated, and that's really, really important.
Yeah, we spoke to that with Joe Murphy the other day about how important it was to not fall behind today in a game, because as we saw what happened against Walsall, when the team seemed to go back into its shell a little bit after falling behind. But a point today, and some, although the game as a spectacle wasn't brilliant, encouraging signs later on with Vaughan and Nugent both on the pitch, pushing further up and giving those centre-backs more to think about. How possible is it for you to look at that as a combination, given Vaughan coming back from injury and Nugent's obviously been playing minimal parts or less, not playing full matches basically?
Well, I think it's unrealistic at the minute. The setup of the team will alter during the course of the game, but what we can't do is we can't hand, you know, the opportunity to win over on a silver platter to the opponent. And you know, James Vaughan's not ready to start at this moment in time. You know, so it's a conundrum, there's no question about that. It will be an option as we grow. But again, you have to be patient. You know, success doesn't come overnight. It never has done. You know, we should take patience out of the English dictionary. It is the English dictionary, isn't it? We should take patience out of it. We should, there's no question about that, and common sense. You know, but I understand what you're saying, but we're in a period of the game there where it's worth the risk to get James Vaughan and Dave Nugent on the pitch. And the players have been tremendous in supporting that structural change in midfield. But we have to make sure that we're very strong down the centre of the pitch. But we go into Tuesday's game now, for me, confident, you know, in that performance. And you see, spectacle, I think that there's a lot on offer today with respect to what I need from the team. Not on Tuesday. I didn't see that belief, you know, from the second half onwards, and that was a concern. But we jogged a few of the players' memories of what it's going to take, and it will take hard work. The first requirement will be effort, energy, and we had that today, and we could have won the game today. I'm so pleased for the players that performance didn't result in a loss, and it could have done.
If you're having players like Nugent and Vaughan through the middle, they obviously need good balls to thrive on in the middle there. A late appearance of Corey Blackett-Taylor today, almost scored, had a chance late on, but how is he? How's his focus? Where, you know, is he someone that you're going to be looking at in these next few games?
Yeah, again, we're looking for moments, and he nearly had his moment today. I've been in conversation with him this week about them moments, and there's times where, as a player, you can't support the team only if you're in the starting 11, and that's what we expect him and every player to do who represents Tranmere Rovers, because that then is a team with an identity that we support one another. And I thought he was good during the course of the week training. We had a great session on Thursday, and he was electric. And you know, it was one of them moments where I have to involve him at the weekend. He didn't get the moments that he wanted, but with the next 4 games, he might well do. But you've got to stay on course.